Okay, good morning. So I will record this meeting. Don't know how many people are going to join us, but we can get started here. Sukhbir has asked about bond assignment question 3, 4, 5, and 6. So let's take a look at those. Um, so let's bring one of these over to the whiteboard. No, your first answer is good. So we'll keep that here. And your second answer, Moodle like that. So we'll keep that hanging around. In fact, it was just the last two answers Moodle didn't like. So 7 and 8, Moodle didn't like these answers. I wonder why. So make sure you have the handout that I have for chapter 15, and somewhere buried in this small document, we have a whole page of how to deal with this method of averages process that they have inflicted on us. So let's find that and go through that. Here we have that. So this list of instructions should help us here. So find the quoted price, multiply the market quote by the face value, which you managed quite fine. So the market quote here is 98.959, and the face value of this thing is 51,000. So what did we do? We did 51,000 times 98.959%. And let's see what that gave us. 98.959% times 51000. I got 50469.09, which is perfect. And step 2 is find the average book value. Take the quoted price that we just generated and the face value and divide by 2. So 50469.09 plus 51000 divided by 2. And we get 50734.45. And they said go 545. Try that again. 545. And they said 3 decimals there if needed. So then find the value of the coupon. So the face value times the bond rate of.
Excuse me, Sir Ben, what question is this?
What question is this?
Yes, sir.
It's in compound interest 11, and it's
Okay.
question number 3.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So 3.71% times 51000, 189. Oops. I didn't get the same answer you did. Why not? 3.71% times 51000. Value of the coupon. Oh, it's semi-annual. That'll make a difference. 3.71% divided by 2 times 51000. And now I'm getting the right answer. 946.05. And then find the number of coupons left on the bond. And what are we told? We're told there's 6 years and 4 months. And so, and this bond is semi-annual. So we're going to have 6 times 2 is 13.
I have changed 4 months into years, then plus into 6, and then multiply by 2.
Yeah. 4 divided by 12. plus 6 times 2. And that gives us 12.6666 when we round it up to 13. Hope that's the answer Moodle wants. Seems a little weird to me, but the total interest is the coupon, which we've just generated, times the number of coupons. So 946.05 times 13. So 12298.65. And then to find the premium or the discount, take the quoted price, which was answer up here, minus the face value. So 5100, oh no, that's not the quoted price. 50469.09 minus the face value. $51000. And that indeed gives us 530.91. And then the average income per coupon is we take the total interest, which was our answer to number 5, 12298.65, minus the premium, which was 946.05. We subtract those two and divide it by the number of coupons. And what do we get? 12298.65 minus 946.05 divided by 13. And I'm getting 873.28. And Moodle says they want 986. So why isn't that working? What did we do differently from what Moodle wants? The total interest, number 5, that's the total interest, minus the premium. Oh, not minus the coupon, minus the premium. Okay, let's fix that and try it again. Well, that didn't work too well. So we can't erase that. Let's just cross it out and try it again. 12298.65 minus the premium of 530.91, and this was negative. So this is going to have to be a plus here. And all that divided by 13. So 12298.65 plus 530.91 and then divided by 13. And that equals 986.89. Which turns out to be the answer that Moodle wants there. And so now we can actually calculate the approximate value of the yield rate. Take the average income per coupon that we just calculated, divided by the average book value. So 986.89 divided by the average book value, which was our answer up here, 50469.09. So 986.89 divided by 50469.09. And so that equals 0.019554345. And then it says multiply this by 100 to turn it into a percentage. So times 100 times 100, 1.955434.505, and then times by 2 because it's semi-annual, times 2, and they want us to round this to 4 decimals. So 3.9109. 9109. And they wanted 98904. Wonder why. Wonder why we're not getting the answer that Moodle wants there. Let's see
Sir,
what
we have to take average book value.
what did I take? Average, the average income per coupon and the average book value. But the average book value, 507. I've put 504. Yeah, I took the quoted price. You're quite correct. Let's see if I can erase that. Helps if you actually read the instructions when they're sitting there right in front of you. 50734.545. Let's try all that again. 986.89 divided by 50734.545. So now I'm getting 0.19452.032. And we're going to go times 100 to turn it into a percentage. And we get 1.945203.214, and then times 2 because it's semi-annual. And we're going to round it to 4 decimals, 3.8. Oops, that's not an 8. 8904. Okay, so that's the process that you're doing there. Remember that if this thing here is negative, this becomes plus. And there's no way I would ever expect anybody to memorize that, which is why you have that on the formula sheet showing you how to do it step by step.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So sometime Google said that we have to give decimal about 3, but our answer is common 2 decimal. So what can we do?
Oh, you mean up here? It's 2 decimals?
No, sir. I think in the third part and in the first part, I got
Yeah, it
my
says 3 decimals, but if
yes,
you've
sir.
only got 2, that's fine. I wouldn't worry about putting another 0 there.
Okay,
Moodle
sir.
won't care if that 0's there. Is that what you're worried about?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, although if it does turn out to be 3 decimals, where did we go? Find the value of the coupon. What did I do? The value of the coupon 94605. Yeah. But there was no, I don't need the 0 because Moodle won't matter. Moodle won't care if that 0 is there or not. But if
Yes,
there's
sir.
a number there, then do keep it to 3 decimals.
Okay, sir. So we can use your Excel sheet while doing our final exams for CoopNum and CoopDays.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay, let's save that. And you wanted to look at question number 4 here. Let's take a look at it. Okay, we're doing the same thing and you're having the same problem with the last 2 questions, the last 2. So let's see if we can figure out what you didn't like about that. So let's just look at the last 2 because you got the others right. Can you remember what it is how you calculated the last 2 so we can figure out what you don't want to do there. How did you calculate the average income per coupon?
Sir, actually, I didn't remember right now.
Okay. Yeah, well, let's do it then. Let's do average income per coupon, and it says find the total interest, which is number 5, which you've calculated here is 7790.76 minus the premium, which you've calculated as 698.980, and divided by the number of coupons, which you've decided was 34. Let's see what we get. 7790.76 minus 698.98 equals that, divided by 34. And I'm getting 208.58. And that's what Moodle wanted there. And so for the approximate value of I, the yield rate, let's see, we wanted the average income per coupon, which we just calculated, 208.58, divided by the average book value. So let's make sure we get the right number this time, 7949.49. And I'm getting 0.026238161. And we're going to go times 100 to turn this into a decimal. And that gave me 2.62381, 6119. And because this was semi-annual, we did times 2. And we want 4 decimals, so 5.2476, which is the answer that Moodle is looking for. So does that make sense? Especially when you refer back to the sheet of instructions to make sure that you follow those instructions.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
And like I say, I wouldn't expect anybody to memorize that whole thing. I certainly don't have it memorized. And
Excuse me, sir. Where that sheet is available?
where is that sheet?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Formula.
let's
The
find it.
Excel.
Let's get out of here. Okay, I'll stop sharing this whiteboard. And I'll share my my screen with the Moodle on it. So are you now looking at the title sort of page for the project management course?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's go down here.
No, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
No.
you're not looking at the project management, business
sir.
math?
No,
No?
sir.
No, sir.
Hmm. What are you seeing on your screen?
Now we can see.
Okay, and if I scroll down, it scrolls down.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let's go see if we can find some formula sheets. It might be in here, compound interest formula sheets. Okay, and compound interest sheet 15. And I can open it. And do you see the chapter 15 bond valuation and sinking funds?
No, sir.
Nope. Okay. I'll share it then. Now do you see it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I had to download this and then this comes up. And then if we scroll down, we go through all sorts of nonsense. And then here it is. Use the method of averages to determine the approximate yield rate. And it just goes step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And those apply directly to the questions you asked of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay,
So
sir.
you want to download that sheet of instructions because there's lots of stuff there that will help you directly with this assignment. Okay, now where's the chat box? So you wanted to look at question number 5. So let's find that. Now, I think question number 5 is exactly the same thing. Do you still want to look at it or do you think it's fine now? Oh, no. Question number 5 is determine the gain or loss on the sale of the bond without creating a bond schedule. So let's take a look at that. So you were correct in deciding it was a premium. But Moodle didn't like your answer here. or here. In fact, Moodle didn't like any of your other answers, so we'll get rid of them. So let's take a look at this. Determine the gain or loss on the sale of the bond without creating a bond schedule. And again, you want to look at this sheet of instructions here because I have various things on here that apply directly to the questions you're being asked. So the first thing you want to do is find the value of the coupon. And so what do we have to do there? We have to take, there's $7,000, but there's 6 of them. I think I see the problem you might have run into. Moodle wants you, and the textbook wants you to multiply these to do them all as one lump sum. So 6 times 7,000. I admit I was a little surprised when I realized that's what they expected you to do. So you just have to treat it like one $42,000 bond. And then times 5.58%, but it's semi-annual, so divided by 2. So 5.58% divided by 2 times 42,000. And I'm getting 1171.80. And that's what Moodle wants there. Find the number of coupons left on the bonds when they are sold. Now, what have they told us? 14 years. So they haven't given us any dates. But the bonds were sold 4 years later. So we're going to go 14 minus 2 equals 12. And then they're semi-annual, so times 2 is going to equal 24. We should have 24 coupons left. So find the book value of the bonds when they were sold. So in order to find the book value of the bonds, we have to do 2 calculations. And it says a 2-step process. We have to find the value of the bond, or the present value of the bond and the present value of the coupons. So let's do these 2 calculations. Present value equals the future value, which will be 42,000. And it's got to be divided by 1 plus I to the power of, in this case, 24. So And we've got to figure out what I is equal to. The rate in the market is 3.6%. So 3.6% divided by 2. So I'm getting 0.018, and I'll store that. Store 1. So see if this makes any sense. We call 1 plus 1, y to the x 24, 1 over x times 42,000. So the present value of the bond is 27. That didn't work. 327,371.75. And so that should be the present value of the bond, but we also have to find the present value of the coupons. So present value equals the coupon, which we calculated to be 1171.80, 1 minus 1 plus I, negative 24, all over the value of I. And now I realize I've screwed up over here. This has to be a negative 24. So I'm going to have to get rid of this number. It's not going to work. Let's try that all again. Recall 1 plus 1, y to the x 24 negative equals that, times call 1 plus 1, y to the x 24 negative equals that, then 1 over x times 42,000. And I come up with a totally different answer here. Put it down here.
So how would, sir, if we do on a BA second plus,
I didn't quite understand your question.
so when I did, I calculate present value, I got the same answer that you raised.
The same
When I
answer
do-
that I erased,
Yes, sir.
but
When I do it on a BA second plus.
did you put negative? Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, if I'm dividing this doesn't have to be negative. Let me backtrack here. I confused myself there. So if I'm dividing it, this doesn't have to be negative, and this number should be good. But over here, I need the negative because I'm not dividing it. So thank you. Let's try this over here. Recall 1 plus 1, y to the x 24 negative equals that. Make that negative plus 1, and then divide that by recall 1, and times 1171.80. And here I'm getting 22,673.78. And what we'd have to do to get the value of the bond is add these two together. So 27371.75 plus 22673.78. Let's see what they add up to. And I'm getting 50,045.53. Moodle somehow wanted 0.54, but it'll accept 2 pennies either way. So our 5.3 would be fine here. I think Moodle didn't round these off, and the textbook tells you not to round them off, but I always round them to 2 pennies anyway. So if you keep these to as many decimals as they calculated out, you'd probably get the penny exactly right, but it doesn't matter. Moodle will accept 2 pennies up or 2 pennies down. So the next thing says, use the market quotation to find the actual purchase price of the bonds. That's this weird number here. So we've got to go our 42,000 again times what they call the market quotation of 104.935%. Let's see what we get. 104.935% times 42000. And I'm getting 44072.70. And that's indeed what Moodle wants there. So compare the proceeds to the book value. What we're doing here is we're taking this number here, 44072.70, minus this book value that we calculated, 5004, 45.53. And I got 39 something, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever, according to what Moodle wants for the answer. Compare the proceeds to the book value. What is the book value? Oh, I didn't use the book value. Don't know what I did there. The proceeds, which should be this, 50045.53, and the book value was our 22673.78. Let's see what that gives us. No, that's not going to work. For some reason, I'm not getting the right numbers in here. What do we, the proceeds, this number here that we've just calculated should be the proceeds. And the book value should be this 50045. But I thought we did that and we didn't like the answer we got. Um, so 44072.70 minus 50045.53. So 44072.7 minus 50045.53, and we get negative 5972.83, which is almost exactly what Moodle wants, although they want a 4 here. And this is negative, so this would be a loss. And the instructions I have for doing that are not very good. I will in fact rewrite those to make it much clearer as to the process you're supposed to follow there.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
In the first part, why we would multiply 7,000 into 6?
Why did we have to do that?
Yes,
Because
sir.
they've told us there are 6 of these bonds. And they expect you to somehow treat the whole thing as one big package. Basically, you can treat it as if it's a $42,000 bond. And like I say, that didn't seem to make any sense to me either. I thought you should have just dealt with the 7,000 and done all the calculations based on that. But
Yes, sir.
when you look at the answer key and the examples they give, they multiply it out and treat it as one big package. So you just have to realize that that's what they're expecting you to do.
Yes, sir.
I might put in the question, I might put a reminder that has to be the way you deal with it. It would help because it's not intuitively opposite that that's the way it should be. And this was question number 6, was it?
So this was question number 5.
Oh, is this question number 5?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, So you also asked about question number 6. Let's find that. So we liked the fact that it was at a discount. Should have had a question mark there. So were you successful in using the CoupNum and the CoupDBS to get these
Yes, sir.
answers?
Yes, sir.
That's good. And it should be easy enough. Did you use that that spreadsheet that I provided?
Yes, sir.
Good.
I
And it
went to-
worked. That's good to
Yes.
know. For some reason, it doesn't like your 183. Wonder why not? We'll have to try the Coupe Day thing and see why it's not liking your answer there. So let's see what happened here. So we got discount, that was good. You found the value of the coupon, that was good. The number of coupons left on the bond was good. Find the value of the bond on the last coupon date before it was sold. And this is that two-step process. So let's calculate that. First off, we have to find the present value. Oops. The present value of the coupon itself 5400. And I won't divide it this time. I'll go 1 plus I to the power of negative 30. And we need to figure out what I is equal to. So not the bond rate, but the market rate. The yield was 8.63%, and it's semi-annual, so divided by 2. So 8.63% divided by 2. And I'm getting 0.04315. And I'll store that and register 1. So now we come over here, recall 1 plus 1, y to the x 30 negative equals that times 5400 equals 1520.52, because it said go to, oh, it didn't say how many decimals to go to, but I'm hoping we can go to 2 decimals. And then we need to find the present value of the coupons. So present value equals, and the coupon we've worked out to be 195.75, 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of negative 30 all over I. So recall 1 plus 1, y to the x 30 negative equals, make that negative, plus 1, and then divided by recall 1, and then times 195.75. And I'm getting 3259.13. So we got to add these two together to give us the value we're looking for. So 1520.52 plus 3259.13. See what that adds up to. 1520.52 plus 3259.13. And I'm getting 4779.65. And that's the answer Moodle wants, although we're 1 penny out here. And again, the 1 penny out is because I didn't keep any more decimals up here. And annoyingly enough, they tell us we should keep these to as many decimals as possible and only round it when we get to the end. But Moodle will accept 2 pennies either way, so this would be perfect. So now let's figure out why you're getting 183 here. And Moodle wants 184. So let's find that program. So I've stopped sharing that. And now let's go over to. So can you see my Excel spreadsheet?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what was the date? What was the maturity date that we're looking at in that question? I can't see the question anymore. I could go find it, I guess. Let me. So the question says they're redeemable at par on May 15th, 2034. So here I want May 15th, 2034. Okay. And the bond was sold on June 7th. So June 7th, 2019. So the settlement date was June 7, 2019. And we get can you see that we get for coup num, which is the number of coupons, we get 30. For coup de BS, that BS stands for before settlement, is 23. And the coup days is 184. It can be anything from like, sometimes it can be as low as 181, 182, 183, 184. It's a little annoying that what appears to be half a year changes value sometimes. But if you don't get this 184 right, when you're looking at this table, then when you're doing the calculation, it won't work out. So let's go back to our whiteboard. And now we know that this has to be 184. It'll make a difference. Use the ratio of days to determine the book value of the bond on the date of sale. So we have to take this value here. Let's go back to using green. So the 4779.65, 1 plus I to the power of this ratio, 23 over 184. And see what that equals. So recall 1 plus 1, y to the x bracket, 23 divided by 184, end of bracket, equals that, times 4779.65. Hoping that 1 penny doesn't cause us grief. 4804.96. And that's absolutely nowhere near the answer we want. Use the ratio of days to determine the book value of the bond on the date of sale. Oh, and what are they? Let's see what they're getting. I'm looking at your answer and saying, we're nowhere near that. This is in fact the answer we want. So then use the market quotation to find the quoted price of the bond on the last coupon date before the date of sale. And you got this answer correct. And so how did we calculate that? We took the 5400 times the market quotation of 101.198%. And that should give us the answer you got. Let's make sure it does. 101.198% times 5400. And that does indeed give us 5464.69. And then use the ratio of days to find the accrued interest on the bond between the last coupon date and the date of sale. And so what they're doing is they're taking this and multiplying it by basically this formula here, I equals principal times the rate times the time. And the principal is this 5464.69. The rate is, and in this case, we have to use the bond rate of 7.25% divided by 2 times the time of this 23 over 184. Kind of an annoying calculation, but let's see if it works. So 7.25% divided by 2 times bracket 23 divided by 184, and then times 5464.69. And I'm getting 24.76. Did I? And for some reason, Moodle wants 24.47. So what did we do wrong there? Let's try that calculation again, because we're not getting quite the right answer there. 7.25% divided by 2 equals that. Times bracket 23 divided by 184 and a bracket equals that times 5464.69. And I'm still getting 76. Oh, I couldn't quite hear you there. Could you say that again?
Sir, I'm writing in the chat.
Oh, okay. Let me find that. And what are you trying to communicate there? Use 8.63. Oh, they use the ratio of days. So what you're saying is here, they're not using 7.25. They're using 8.63% divided by 2. Let's try that. But for some reason, I don't think that's correct. 8.63% divided by 2 times bracket 23 divided by 184 and a bracket equals that times 5464.69. And that gave me 29.47 or 46. And that's a problem because they still want 24.47. Yeah. So I'm confused there. I for some reason, I don't think Moodle has the right answer there. So it might be that I've actually typed it in wrong. So let's see what happens here. Take the quoted price, which was this, 5464.69 plus the accrued interest, which they tell us is 24.47. And does that give us the answer they came up with? 5464.69 plus 24.47, 5489.16. So that gives us the answer they want here. And I'll have to figure out what we're doing wrong in here because there's something not working there. So compare the proceeds, line 8, to the book value, line 5. So the proceeds were what we have here, 5489.16 minus the book value, which was line 5, 4804.96. And what do we get there? 5489.16 minus 4804.96. And we get 684.20. which would make Moodle happy. And this is a positive number. So this would be a gain here. So that all works out, except that the ratio of days to find the accrued interest. Why isn't that calculation working? So I can't figure out what we've done wrong here, but somehow we're not getting the answer that they're getting. Principal times the rate, 7.25. It should be the 7.25 because this should be based on the bond rate. So I will try and figure out why this calculation is not working, and I will send you out an email to figure out why that's not working there, because that's not gonna help. If we can't get this answer, we can't get these two answers. So I will get back to you on what we've done wrong there. So let's see what else we wanted to look at here. Gurminder, you wanted to look at the sinking fund assignment, number 3 and number 5. Okay, let's see if we can find that. So the city of Chatham borrowed $61,000 to expand a community center. The city must pay the interest on the loan at the end of every month and make equal payments at the time of the interest payments into a sinking fund until the loan is retired in 12 years. Interest on the loan is 9.69% compounded monthly, and the interest on the sinking fund is 12.53% compounded monthly. Round all answers to the nearest dollar. So determine the size of the periodic interest expense of the debt. So we know the debt is 61,000. And we know they're paying 9.69% on it. So times 9.69%, but it's compounded monthly, so divided by 12. So that should give us the answer that you got. Let's see if it does. 9.69% divided by 12 times 61000. And that gives us 492.575, but they say round everything to the nearest dollar. So 493 is a good answer. Determine the size of the periodic payments into the sinking fund. And so here we've got to solve for the payment. And what formula do we need to use here? It's got to be 1 minus 1 plus I, and 12 years. So N here is 12 times 2 equals 24. So this should be a negative 24. So this should give us the size of the payment. Let's see if it does give us anything sensible. What's I here? The interest on the sinking fund is 12.53% divided by 12. And I'm getting some ridiculous answer, and I'll store it. 0.010441667, but definitely store 1. So recall 1 plus 1, y to the x, 24 negative. Make that negative and go plus 1 divided by recall 1. And oh, I need a number in here. It's got to be times the payment. What calculation have I done here? It's not making any sense at the moment. The size of the payment. It's got to be times. So what did you do, Gurminder, to get the 184? Because obviously what I've done here is making no sense whatsoever. The interest on the sinking fund is 12.53%. So we've got that. and size of the payment. Let me go look at my formulas here because so let's get rid of this. And the formula I should have been using here is payment equals the future value, which is 61,000 times I all over 1 plus I to the power of n minus 1. Let's see if that gives us any better answer. So recall 1 plus 1 y to the x 24 minus 1, and I'll store that in register 7, and 61,000 times recall 1. I'll store that in register 8, and then recall 8 divided by recall 7. Nope, that's not giving me a good answer either. Oh, n equals 144. Of course, 12 times 12. That makes a lot of difference. Let's try.
Times two.
Yeah, 12 times 12 equals 144. I still
Yes, sir.
did it as if we were doing it semi-annually. So let's try that again. Recall 1
Monthly.
plus 1 y to the x 144 minus 1. Store that in register 7. And then recall 8 divided by recall 7 gives me 183.93, but we're rounding everything off, so 184. It helps when you actually use the right numbers. So the periodic cost of the debt, they're paying this plus this, so it should be 493 plus 184. And I'm getting 677. And Moodle was happy with that answer. So what is the book value of the debt after 8 years? So what we've got to do is find the book value of the debt. And we can do this either using a spreadsheet. Let's figure out various ways we can do this. And so it was retired in 12 years. And the interest on the loan was 9.69. And then this was 12.53. And 8 years. So what did we do to calculate this?
So I think we use a mod function on BA second plus by putting P1 1 and P2 96, 12 into 8.
Will that work on the BA2 plus? Is that one way to
Yes.
calculate it? I'm looking at how to calculate it by hand, but how did you, first off, you're gonna put second PY 12 for monthly, right? Because you've got to get a
Yes.
payment in there, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
you did PY 12.
Yes, sir.
Enter down, and then
Can we solve this by hand?
by hand. Yes,
Yes, sir.
but let's do it on the calculator first, see if it works. Because I
Okay.
didn't do it on the calculator, so I want to see if that actually works. So what did you put in for N? 8. Oh no, it's got to be being retired over 144 periods. So 144 into N, and then 12.53%. And in this case, the present value is going to be 0. The payment we don't know, but the future value has to be the 61,000 into future value and compute the payment. And there's that 183. So at this point, did you change that to 184? Who was suggesting to do it on the BA2 plus?
Yes, sir. I put the rounded value.
Okay, so we'll put 184 negative into payment. And then you did second amort, and 8 years is,
So I put P1 1 and P2 8 into 12.
so P1, you're doing 1, so enter down, and 8 times 12 is 96, right?
Yes, sir.
So P2, 96, enter down. And you got a balance of 30145.
Yes, sir. Sir, I deducted from 61,000. The balance we get it.
Oh yeah, the book value, we've got to take it away from 61,000. So 30145. And that gave us 30855, which is exactly the answer that Moodle wants. So that's good to know. I didn't do it on the BA2 plus. I worked it out by hand. So let's see what I did there. What I'm taking is the payment times 1 plus I to the power of in this case for 8 years, 96. Minus 1, all divided by I. And let's see what that gives us. So recall 1 is the 12.53% divided by 12 plus 1, y to the x 96, and then minus 1 divided by recall 1, which is the interest rate, and then times the payment, which we decided was the 184. And that gave me 30145.25. But if we're rounding everything to the nearest dollar, this is 30145. And so we have to take this away from the 61,000 to get the book value. So 61,000 minus 30145. And that's giving us the answer we want, 30855. So Gurminder, does that help seeing it done both ways? The third way we could do it is we could actually set up a schedule in Excel and
Could you share your calculator on this screen?
I didn't understand your question again.
can you share your calculator on this screen?
Oh, can we do this calculation? But I can show you on the little picture of the calculator? Sure,
Yes.
let's try that. Let's find that calculator. So can you see my calculator?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I've got to go find the calculation we're doing. Where did it go? Okay, I can see the numbers now. So let's clear all this. And so we wanted to do first off, we've got to get the interest in here. So I 12.53% divided by 12 because it's monthly. So let's store this in register 1 and let's change our decimals to 9 so we can see what we're doing. Format 9. So this is the periodic interest rate we're dealing with, but we've got it stored in register 1. So that's okay. So I can't actually see the equation, so let's hope it works out. We did 1 plus recall 1, and then we took that to the power of y to the x, and we're only looking for 8 years, so 96 equals that. And then we wanted yeah, I'd better go back and look at the equation because I didn't write it down. Let me just quickly do that. It'll help. So the 184 is the payment. 1 plus I to the power of 96 minus 1 over I. And then we get that answer and we have to go 61,000 minus that. Okay, that'll help. So let's start this again. Now I can see what I'm doing. Recall 1 plus 1, and then y to the x 96 equals that, and then minus 1 equals that, and divided by recall 1, which was the interest rate, and then times the payment. So times 184. So this is our 30145. And we had to take this away from 61,000. So I'll make this negative plus 61,000. And then we had to round this. So let's store this and go second format 0, enter clear, and then recall that. And there's our 30855. Did that make sense? Or would you like me to do it again?
Yes, sir. I
It
got it.
made, it's good?
Definitely, sir.
Okay. So you've really got 3 ways you could do it. You could do it by hand using that formula that I used. You could do it on the BA2 plus, solving it using the financial functions and the amort, or you could do it on an Excel spreadsheet. So let's stop sharing that. Go back to here. And clear that. And Gurminder, what was the other question you wanted to look at? Oh, I think I screwed that up. Undo? Yeah. I got to save it first.
Sir, question number 5.
Okay, let's take a look at that. So Ontario Credit Union borrowed 263,000 at 11.61% compounded semi-annually from League Central to build an office complex. The loan agreement requires payment of interest at the end of every 6 months. In addition, the credit union is to make equal payments into a sinking fund so that the principal can be retired in total after 15 years. Interest earned by the fund is 9.02% compounded semi-annually. And again, we're rounding all answers to the nearest dollar. So what is the semi-annual interest payment on the debt? So basically, this is a coupon we're calculating. 263,000 times 11.61% divided by 2. So 11.61% divided by 2 times 263,000. Oh, what did I do wrong? Oh, maybe I didn't. I got a different answer than you, but Moodle didn't like your answer. 15,267.15. Let's find out if Moodle would have liked that. Yes. And of course, we're rounding it to 15267. So what is the size of the semi-annual deposits into the sinking fund? And what was the formula we needed to use here again? it was the payment equals the future value. Well, the future value is the 263,000 times I all over 1 plus I to the power of n minus 1. And the interest we're using here is the interest on the sinking fund, which is 9.02. So I equals 9.02%, and it's divided by 2. So 9.02% divided by 2, and I'm getting 0.0451. And I'm going to store that in register 1. And N, 15 years and semi-annual, so 30. So now let's try our calculation. I'll do the top part first and I'll save it. 263,000 times recall 1. So I'll store that in register 8. And now recall 1 plus 1, y to the x 30 minus 1. And I'll store that in register 7. So recall 8 divided by recall 7. And I'm getting 4303.68. But this is just going to become 4304, which you already liked. So now we should just be able to add these two together. 15267 plus 4304. So 15267 plus 4304, and I'm getting 19571. And one 19571. Oh, we need the total annual cost of the debt. That's very tricky of them. So we need to do times 2. Becomes 39142. Yeah, that was tricky. So what is the interest earned by the fund in the 18th payment interval? So we have to figure out, first off, we have to figure out what the fund is in the 17th payment interval, and then multiply it by the interest rate to find the interest earned in the 18th. How annoying is that? Let's see if we can figure out how to do that. So we've got to start by finding out what the sort of, not the book value, but the fund is worth in the 17th find value in the 17th. So what we're going to have to do is that calculation we used before, the payment, and nowhere up here, semi-annual deposits into the sinking fund. Let's figure out how we're gonna, the numbers we need here. 263,000 and 11.61, 15 years. That's good. And the interest rate on the fund is 9.02. So the formula we're going to have to use here is we're going to have to take the payment, which we know is 4,304, times 1 plus I to the power of we're looking for the 18th interval. Where did we? So this is going to have to be to the power of 17 minus 1 all over I. So will that work for us? 1 plus I to the power of 17 Not sure if that works for us or not. Let's try it, see what we get. So the interest rate we're dealing with here is the interest rate on the fund, which is the 9.02. So we've got that. So recall 1 plus 1. And then I'm not sure about the 17. Not sure if we should be using 34 here, but let's try the 17. Y to the X 17 is that minus 1, then divided by recall 1, and then times the payment, which we decided was the 4,304. Oops, something went wrong there. Let me try that calculation again. 1 plus recall 1, y to the x 17 minus 1 divided by recall 1 times 4304. And I get an answer of 106 580.54. And then we would have to take that number and multiply it by the interest rate to find the interest earned in the next period. So times recall 1. And I'm getting 4806.78, which I'd round to 4807. But, and did Moodle not like your answer there? Oh no, that's exactly the answer Moodle wants. So Moodle should have liked your answer here of 4806. And the book value of the debt after 11 years, we've got to do the same calculation we did previously and then take it away from the total here. So let's figure out what we did there again. So 11 years would give us 11 times 11 times 2, of course, is 22 payment periods. And what was the formula we had to use there? Just the same formula we used up here. Payment times 1 plus I, but in this case, to the power of 22 minus 1 all over I. And what do we get there? Recall 1 plus 1, y to the x 22 minus 1 divided by recall 1 times the payment of 4304. And I'm getting 156,432.95. And we'd have to take that away from the 263 to get the book value. 263,000 minus 156,433 basically. And I'm getting 106,567. And that's the answer Moodle wants there. So for you, this answer didn't work, but this one did work. This would have, Moodle would have marked this correct. And this answer didn't work. But Moodle would have liked this one. But this answer didn't work. So, Gurminder, does that make any sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, this confused me. The 18th payment interval, it's not the 18th year, because that would mean we had to go 18 times 2. Whereas this is the 11th year, but for the payment interval, it had to be 22. Yeah, that's confusing to me, the way they've written it. But that's probably what they wanted to do. They wanted to make it confusing.
Yes, sir.
So let's find the chat again and see what other suggestions people have had here. So that was sinking fund 3 and 5. Balwinda wants to look at the bond valuation 2, 6, and 7. So let's take a look at those. Let's find those. Hopefully. Get those out of the way. Bond valuation. Balwinder. Car. Question number 2. So the method of averages. So we have the process. Make sure you have the formula sheet in front of you, because the formula sheet helps tremendously with this list of nonsense that you have to follow. So let's take a look at the formula sheet to remind ourselves what we're doing here. So find the quoted price, multiply the market quote by the face value. So this is the market quote here. Oops. So the face value here is 6,000 times the market quote of 103.72, but this has to be turned into a percentage. So 103.72% times 6,000, oops, too many zeros. So I'm getting 6,223.2. Which is what Moodle wants us to get there. So find the average book value, we have to take the quoted price, which we've just calculated, plus the face value and divide by 2. So 6,223.20 plus the face value of 6,000 and divide by 2. So let's see what that becomes. $6,111.60. And Moodle would have liked that answer. So find the value of the coupon. So take the 6,000 times the coupon rate of 6.15%, but it's semi-annual, so divided by 2. So 6.15% divided by 2 times 6,000. 184.50. So they've given us a settlement date and a maturity date. So I'll write those down because we'll need them. The settlement date, September 14th, 2020. And the maturity date is May 15, 2027. Okay, so let's stop sharing this. And I'll go find that file that we want. So are you looking at my coupon spreadsheet? Can anybody see the coupon spreadsheet?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So let's fill in the numbers we want here. The settlement date, I said, was September 14th, 2020. And the maturity date is May 15th, 2027. So we can see that the number of coupons left is 14. The days from the previous coupon date to the settlement date is 122. And the days between coupon dates is 184. So we may need all those numbers. Let's go back to our other sheet. So find the number of coupons left on the bond. And we've determined that that is 14 coupons. And that's what Moodle wanted us to do there. So find the total interest which is the coupon times the number of coupons. So 184.50 times 14. And I'm getting 2,583. And Moodle would have liked that. So find the premium, which is the quoted price, which we figured out, 6223.20 minus the face value, which is 6,000. So 6223.20 minus 6,000. So 223.20. And that would have kept Moodle happy. So find the average income per coupon. So we've got to take the total interest, which is our answer to number 5, the total interest. 184. Oh, no, that's not it. 2,583. And the total interest minus the premium, which we just calculated, 223.20. And we've got to divide all that by the number of coupons. So all this divided by 14. Let's see what we get there. 2,583 minus 223.2 divided by 14, and I'm getting 168.56. And so now we're actually in a position to calculate the approximate value for the yield rate. So take the average income per coupon that we just calculated, 168.56, divided by the average book value, which was our answer to number 2, 6111.60. See what that's equal to. 168.56 divided by 6111.6. And then we're going to go find that times 100. See what that equals to. And then this is semi-annual, so we're going to go times 2. And I'm getting 5.5161 if we round it to 2 decimals. So, Balwinder, I don't expect that whole process to actually make any sense. because the whole process didn't really make any sense to me the first time I had to do it. And I could only do it if I followed those instructions. It's not like after you do it, some questions you do and you see how to do it, and you sort of in your brain, you can say, oh yeah, that makes sense. Now I see it. But I admit this makes no sense to me whatsoever, but that's the process they want you to follow to get the answer they want. So hopefully if you have that formula sheet, you can follow that process.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd be kidding you if I said that that made sense to me, but at least we can follow it and get the right answer.
Yes, sir.
And you mentioned you wanted to look at a couple others. What were they? Let's look at the chat for a minute. Where did my chat box go? Bond valuation number 2. Let's find it. So the same thing. Do you want to, oh, that's number 3. Well, we just did number 2. You wanted to look at 2 and 4. Okay, let's look at 4. It's the same process. Do you want me to go through it?
The sixth question.
Just part 6? Okay, let's do that.
Sir, I'm saying sixth question.
Oh, question 6, not the 6th
Yes, sir.
part of question 4.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
good. Let's try that. Question 6. Okay. Determine the gain or loss. Okay. Here, we don't need this. Okay. I think we at least managed to get the whole thing on the page. Let's see what we can do here. Find the value of the coupon. So it's just one bond, not a bunch of them. So Well, first off, did this bond sell at a premium or at a discount? So the bond rate was 3.08%. And the market rate when it was sold was 4.49%. So if you could go out into the market today and buy investments worth 4.49%, but you're going to pay more or less for this investment that is paying 3.08%, you're going to pay less for this. So this is going to sell at a discount. Find the value of the coupon. The bond is 6,800 times 3.08%, but it's semi-annual, so divided by 2. See what that became. 3.08% divided by 2 times 6,800. 104.72. So that's our coupon. Find the number of coupons left on the bond, and they've given us dates here. So it's redeemable. So this is the maturity. And it was sold on November 26th. So this is the settlement. They've thrown in this other date here just to be annoying, but we can ignore that. So let's write those down because we'll need them. Settlement, November 26, 2015, and maturity, April 15, 2031. So we go over to our Excel spreadsheet, and we are going to type in for maturity. Do you want me to share the Excel spreadsheet so you can see what I'm doing there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can see the spreadsheet now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so only type into this green box, and I shouldn't have this highlighted in green, the 1. You'll never need to change that, and you'll seldom need to change the 2. But these 2 we need to change. So the settlement date we decided was November 26, 2015, and the maturity date was April 15, 2031. And the important numbers that pop up are 31 coupons left, 42 days from the previous coupon date to the settlement date, and 183 days between coupon dates. So armed with those pieces of information, let's go back to our whiteboard. So the number of coupons left on the bond when it was sold, we've decided that was 31. And find the value of the coupon on the last coupon date before it was sold. So this is a two-part process because we have to find the present value of the coupon, oh no, the present value of the bond itself and the present value of the coupon stream. So let's work on that. Present value equals 6800 1 plus I to the power of negative n. And we need to figure out some numbers here. I is the market rate, so 4.49% divided by 2 because it's semi-annual. So 4.49% divided by 2, and I'm getting 0.02245, and I'm going to store that in register 1 so I don't screw it up. Store 1. Let's find n. We know n is 31, so let's work this out then. So recall 1 plus 1, y to the x, 31, make that negative, and then times 6800. So the present value of the coupon itself is 3416.68, and it's 68118. I have a bad habit of rounding this off, but the textbook tells us not to round it off, so I'll try to not round it off. So we also want the present value of the coupon, and we know the coupon is 104.72, and this is 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of negative n all over I. So let's try that. Recall 1 plus 1, y to the x, 31 negative, equals that. Make that negative, plus 1, divided by recall 1, times 104.72. So I'm getting 23208 point. Oh, no, sorry, I screwed something up there. 2320.851217. So now we have to add those two together. So 3416.68118 plus 2320.851217. And now we can round it off as 5737.53. And so that's the answer that Moodle wants. And then, because it wasn't sold on a coupon date, we have to find the number of days from the last coupon date before the bond was sold to the date the bond was sold, should say were, or the date the bond was sold. So, yeah, let's get rid of that. let's cross out the S, that would be better. So we found that date, or we found that number to be 42. And the number of days between the coupons, we found that to be 183. Use the ratio of days to determine the book value of the bond on the date of sale. So what we've got to do is take this forward. This number here, 5737.53 times, not, well, 1 plus I to the power of 42 over 183. For some reason, this didn't work last time we did this. Let's figure out why not. So we're using the market rate. Oh, is that correct? So 1 plus, recall 1 plus 1, y to the x bracket 42 divided by 183 times 5737.53. And I'm getting 5766.84. So that works. And then use the market quotation to find the quoted price of the bond on the last coupon date before the date of sale. So this is the quoted price here. So we'd have to take the 68,000 times 101.354%. So let's try that, 101.354% times 6800. And I'm getting 6892.07. And then use the ratio of days to find the accrued interest on the bond. And it reminds us that this calculation uses the face value and the bond rate. So the face value, 6800 times the bond rate, which is 3.08% divided by 2, times the ratio of days, 42 over 183. So let's try that. 3.08% divided by 2, and then times bracket 42 divided by 183, end of bracket, equals, and then times 6800. And I'm getting 24.03. So we did this previously, and I don't think I used the face value of the bond here. I think I used the market quotation or some other number. I'll have to go back and look at it because this is working out perfectly now. So add the quoted price and the accrued interest to find the proceeds. So the quoted price we just found here, 6892.07 plus 24.03. And let's see what we get here. 6892.07 plus 24.03 equals 6916.10. And compare the proceeds, which we just calculated, 6916.10 minus the book value, which was 5766.84. So minus 5766.84 is 1149.26. And that's a positive number. So this thing will be a gain. So, Balwinder, do you think you could follow that process?
Yes, sir.
That process actually makes a little more sense than that last process we did, but still quite complicated to follow it. So let's save that and clear that. Let's go back to our chat box and see what's happening there. Let's see, we did those, we did those, we did those. Bond valuation, 1, 2, amortization. Someone was asking for, Sukdeep, you're asking for bond valuation 1 and 2. Did we do those? And amortization 6 and 7. I know we haven't done those. Is Sukdeep still here? No? Okay, let's see who else is asking questions here. And someone pointed out that this shows up in the video, the list of participants. We could actually, I think we could, I don't know how to remove that actually. So Gurminder, is Gurminder here? No, okay. Sukdeep. Sukdeep is supposed to be still here. Are you here, Sukdeep? Because I see you on the screen. So is there anybody else that has any other question who's still with us? So I still see there's 4 people here, but I don't have any questions to look at.
Sir, sinking fund, second and fourth.
And which assignment again?
Sinking fund.
Sinking funds, okay. Let's find those. So a sinking fund amounting to 14,000 is to be created by making payments at the beginning of every 6 months for 3 years. Interest earned by the fund is 14.64% compounded semi-annually. So determine the size of the semi-annual payments. So let's figure out what we have to do here. Um, we don't want that. So a sinking fund of 14,000 I need that number. And for 3 years, and the rate is 14.64. So determine the size of the semi-annual payment. We need to know I. So keep track of that. I equals 14.64% divided by 2. Let's make sure we know what that is. So I'm getting 0.0732, but I'll definitely store that in register 1. And we want to know N. And it's 3 years, twice a year. So we don't need to store that. So our formula here, it's annoyingly at the beginning. So this is annuity due. So when we find the payment, we've got to be using the annuity due formula, not the ordinary annuity. So we're going to be looking at the the future value divided by 1 plus I to the power of N minus 1. Haven't given myself enough room here. Let's try this again. See if I can create some more space without wrecking everything. Okay. That might have worked. All this over I. And because it's annuity due, we got to multiply it by 1 plus I. So let's see if we can make sense out of that. The future value is 14,000. 1 plus I to the power of N minus 1 over I. 1 plus I. So let's see where we're going to start here. Recall 1 is our I plus 1. Y to the X, N we decided was 6. And then minus 1. And then divided by recall 1. And then times in brackets 1 plus recall 1 end of bracket equals. So we get this number, and I'll flip it into the numerator by going 1 over X, and then times 14,000. And I get 1808.999. So this will be 1809.00. So compute the interest earned during the second payment interval. So what we're going to have to do is find the value of the fund after the first interval and then multiply it by I to find the interest in the next interval. So we're looking at the payment that we've just calculated, 1809 times 1 plus I to the power of 2, basically. Oh no, payment interval. So it's only, we're not talking years, we're talking intervals. So it's just 1 minus 1 divided by I. And then because it's annuity due, all this is multiplied by 1 plus I again. So let's see if we can work that out. So recall 1 plus 1 to the power of 1 is not very exciting. So minus 1 divided by recall 1. That didn't work for some reason. Try that again. Recall 1 plus 1. And then minus 1 and divided by recall 1. And then times, in bracket, 1 plus recall 1, end of bracket, equals, and then times 1809. And here I'm getting 1941.42. And then we want to know how much interest would have accrued on that. So times I times recall 1. And I'm getting 142.11. For some reason, I don't think that's the right answer. Why not? What did we do here? Oh, that's the amount of interest during the second payment interval. I like this number times I. Weird. And what are they giving us? 1941.42 plus 142.11. No. And so what answer did Moodle want here? They want 274 274.53. So what are we doing wrong here? That would be what we've calculated right here is the value after the first payment interval. Oh, I see. Because it's annuity due, the payment is at the beginning of the payment period. And so we need to add the payment to this. Because the payment is at the beginning. So plus the payment of 1809 equals this. So 1941.42 plus 1809 equals this. 3750.42. And then they get interest on all of this because they put this payment in at the beginning of the payment period, not the end. So 3750.42 times I. And there's how they come up with 274.53. So that's being at the beginning of the payment period changes our calculation drastically because they get the interest on the payment, not just on the previous balance. So, Balwinder, does that make sense? Now we've figured out what they actually did there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, quite tricky to remember that because they get the payment, because they put the payment in at the beginning of the payment period, they get interest on that payment. If it was ordinary annuity, we could have just done this times the interest because the payment's at the end of the payment period and they don't get interest on it. I'll make a note of that actually right here. So if people ever look at this sheet, they can be reminded of how that worked. And what was the other one you wanted to look at? Number 4?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's take a look at it. So Kirk, Klein and Company requires 88,000 15 years from now to retire debt. A sinking fund is established into which equal payments are made at the end of every month. So it's not annuity due. And interest is 9.22% compounded monthly. So the size of the monthly payments, we need to figure out how much the payment is. So we are going to need to know I. uh, 9.22% divided by 12. So I'm getting 0.007683 repeating. But I'll definitely be storing that. Okay. And we're going to need to know N. 15 years. And it's times 12. I won't do it times 2 this time. 15 times 12, 180. So the size of the payments how are we going to calculate that payment? Payment what's it going to be equal to? We need to find a formula here. So it's going to be our future value, 8800 times I all over. Oh, we need another 0 there. That'll help. All over 1 plus I to the power of n minus 1. Let's try that, see what we get. So 88000 times recall 1. Okay, I'll store that in register 8. And recall 1 plus 1, y to the x, 180. Oop, that didn't work. Why not? Recall 1. Oh, I stored that in the wrong place. 9.2. Let's try that again. 9.22% divided by 12. Store that in 1. Recall 1 plus 1, y to the x, 180 minus 1, and I'll store that, register 8. So recall 7. Oh, no. And recall 8. For some reason, I'm not getting anything sensible there. So what am I doing wrong here? $88,000 times recall 1 equals 676 something. Oh, I see. I've written down the interest wrong. $9.22. Helps if you write down the correct numbers. So store that. And then here, recall 1 plus 1, y to the x, 180 minus 1 equals that. So recall 7 divided by recall 8. And I'm now getting 227.97. And I'm hoping that's the answer Moodle wanted there. So what is the balance in the fund after 5 years? What do we have to do here? 5 years, n is going to be equal to 5 times 12 equals 60. So we're going for 60 periods. And so we're looking at this number here that we just calculated, 227.97 times 1 plus I to the power of 60 in this case, minus 1, all divided by I. So let's see if we can do that. Recall 1 plus 1, y to the x 60 minus 1 divided by recall 1 times 227.97. And I'm getting 17,294.09. So how much interest will be earned by the fund in the 78th payment interval? What we're going to have to do is find the balance in the fund after 77 payment intervals. And then we'll find out how much interest they paid in the 78th interval based on that. And this is not annuity due, so we don't have to add that interest this time. So it'll be an easier calculation. So what do we need to do? We need to take our payment, which we've figured out is 227.97 times 1 plus I, and we're going 77 intervals here, minus 1, all over I. So that should work. And let's figure out what that is. So recall 1 plus 1 y to the x 77 minus 1 divided by recall 1 times 227.97. So I'm getting 23820.42. And so this is the balance in the fund after 77 payment intervals. And we need to figure out how much interest will accrue on that. So times I. So times recall 1. I'm getting 183.02. And by how much will the fund increase during the 112th payment interval? We've got to do the same thing. We have to look at the 111th payment interval, then find the interest, and then we have to add that interest on, and that'll be how much the fund increases. We might have to add in the payment. Let's think about it. But let's figure out this bit first. 227.97 1 plus I to the power of 111 minus 1 over I. So recall 1 plus 1 y to the x 111 minus 1 divided by recall 1 times 227.97. So I'm getting the value of the fund at the end of the 111th period as 3971 on, sorry, 9.85. And we're going to figure out how much interest accrues on that. $305.18. So the interest has been accrued on it. So we'd have to add the interest, but we also have to add the payment at the end of this time period. So we're going to go 39719.85 plus the interest of 305.18 plus the payment they make of 227.97 because every period they make a payment. So let's add that up. 39719.85 plus 305.18 plus 227.97. And I'm getting, oh, I'm getting what the fund is turning into, but they just want to know by how much did the fund increase. So we're just adding up the interest and the payment. 305.18 plus 227.97. And so we don't need this number here. We just need these two. 533.15. So hopefully those are the answers Moodle wanted there. Ballwinder, does that make sense now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's not easy to keep track of everything you're trying to calculate here. Now, Nikki has said, can we try question 1 under sinking funds? Yes, we can definitely try that. Let's go and find that. So, Nikki, what is your actual first name?
So Dominique Paul
Domi-
Ninavila.
Dominique. Okay, let's see if I can find that. No, why didn't that work? So, Nikki, have you tried this question? Because I'm not finding your attempt here. Why?
So she had tried but didn't submit. She
Oh,
has having some network issues, so can't speak with you.
okay. Well, we'll just try one of them then, because I won't be able to find her one. But that's weird. I should be able to find it, even if it's not submitted yet. But she's not.
Sir, you can try my question. She will have reference from that.
Okay, let's try that. So equal deposits are made into a sinking fund at the end of each year for 8 years. Interest is 4.68% compounded annually, and the maturity of the value of the fund is 23,000. So what do we need to do here? Let's see. We're saying this is 8 years. Okay, that won't work. Eight years. Interest is 4.68%. And the fund is 23,000. So the first thing we need to do is figure out I and N. Let's find those. I equals 4.68%. Oh, it's annually, so divided by 1 is not very exciting. So 4.68% is just 0.0468. And N is 8 times 1, which isn't very exciting. It's just 8. So we're looking for the payment, the deposit. Payment equals future value 23,000 times I over 1 plus I to the power of 8 minus 1. And it's an ordinary annuity. It's at the end of each year. So let's calculate that. 23. Oh no, first off, did we save this? No. So 4.68% and store that in 1. So 23000 times recall 1. And we'll store this top part in store 7. Store 7 and recall 1 plus 1. Y to the x 8 equals that minus 1. And then I'll go store 8. So I'll store that in 8. And so I can go recall 7 divided by recall 8 equals, and I get 2436.31. And I'm hoping Moodle likes that answer. So calculate the increase in the fund for the 4th year. So we've got to go to the 3rd year and then find the interest on that and add the interest in the payment to find the increase. So we're going to go the payment 2436.31 times 1 plus I to the power of, in this case, 3 minus 1 all over I. See what that looks like. Recall 1 plus 1 y to the x3 minus 1 divided by recall 1 times 2436.31, and I'm getting 7656.32. And so that was the end of the third year. And we've got to multiply that by I to figure out how much interest has accrued on that. So times recall 1. So 358.32. And then we want to add that to the payment. So 2436.31 plus 358.32. So plus 2436.31. And I'm getting 2794.63, I guess. So hopefully that process makes sense. First off, we have to find the payment. And then if we want to see how much the fund increased in the fourth year, we've got to figure out where they are at the end of the third year, which was this, and then figure out how much interest will accrue on that amount of money, which is times the interest rate. And then the increase in the fund will be the interest that has accrued plus the payment they're making every year to get a total of this. So I don't know if Nikki is still connected to us. My screen says she is. So Nikki, does that make sense, that process? So how about Balwinder? Did that make sense to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, we're still connected somehow to Nikki, but you say that she's having connection problems. Okay. Let's save that. And clear that. So, Balwinder, you've suggested you want to look at bond valuation number 4.
Yes, sir.
Let's take a look at that. Bond valuation, not sinking funds. Number 4. So the method of averages, okay? So Balwinder, I will get you to work your way through this. Do you have the formula sheet for chapter 15?
Yes, sir. I have.
Okay. Um, figure out what the quoted price here is. And I'll, by following that formula sheet.
Sorry, sir. I have connected with the phone and my laptop is on the charging.
Okay. So
I
you,
haven't any hard copy of the formula sheet. It's in
okay.
the laptop. Yes, sir.
I can tell you what the step is. It says multiply the market quote by the face value.
Okay, sir.
Do you have any way of calculating that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So step one is multiply the market quote by the face value. And just, can you put your answer in the chat box?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't think you have the decimal in the right place. When you multiply the 109.1871, there has to be a percent sign after it. So try that calculation again. Because you've got the right numbers, but you didn't include the percent sign in the calculation. Okay, and they also want you to go to 3 decimals. So what will that be if you go to 3 decimals? Okay, I like that answer, and Moodle will like that. Moodle, for some reason, annoyingly went to 4 decimals, but that's okay. So find the average book value. It says take the quoted price that we just calculated plus the face value that we know from the question and divide by 2. And what number will you get there? That looks good. 5961.833. So find the value of the coupon. So take the face value of the coupon times the coupon rate. And remember that the coupon rate has to be divided by 2 because it's semi-annual. Um, 223.44 looks perfect. So find the number of coupons left on the bond. They didn't give us dates, so we just have to go with what they've told us. How many coupons will be left on the bond?
Sir, can you please show your Excel file?
Oh, we can't use the Excel file because
Oh, sorry.
they haven't
I
given us,
got it.
they haven't given us any dates.
Then it's 30.
Yes, it'd be 30.
Okay, sir.
So the total interest, multiply the coupon that we figured out, the value of the coupon, times the number of coupons. So what will that equal?
Sir, 6703.20.
Yes, that's exactly what it'll be. 6703.20. Find the premium or the discount. Take the quoted price, which is part one, minus the face value. And that'll give us the premium or discount. And it says to go to 3 decimals if necessary.
523.665.
If we go to 3 decimals, it'll be 665, right?
Yes, sir.
Then find the average income per coupon. So they say take the total interest, which was our answer to number 5, minus the premium, which was our answer to number 6, and then divide that by the number of coupons. So what will that equal?
Whole divided by or sirf, or only sixth part.
Find the average income per coupon, take the total interest, which is this one,
Okay, sir.
minus the premium, which was this one.
Okay. Then whole divided.
And then all of that, the result of that minus that, divided by the number of coupons, which is this one.
Okay, sir. $205.985.
In this
9.
case, yeah, just 9.8, because they said go to 2 decimals.
Okay, sir. Yes.
So find the approximate value of I, take the average income per coupon, which was this that we just found. So this one,
Yes, sir.
and divide that by the average book value, which was way up here.
Okay, sir.
And then you're going to multiply by 100 to turn it into a percent. And then because it's semi-annual, you're going to multiply by 2. And you're going to round that to 4 decimals.
Six 6.910.
That's right. If you go to 4 decimals, it'll be 9100. So that's the process. And if you follow the steps in the formula sheet, the steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 follow
Yes.
the exact list of answers that you need.
Okay, sir.
I can't say it makes any intuitive sense, but that's what they want you to do there. It must have made sense to someone because they figured out how to do it.
Okay, sir.
So let's save that. And stop sharing. And Nikki, you're with us again. So Nikki, did you have any other questions? No? Okay. Balwinder, do you have any other questions?
No, sir.
Okay. So we'll have our last class tomorrow, and then the class after that will just be for review. So,
Thank you, sir, so much.
okay, I hope that helped. Take care, and we'll see you tomorrow morning at 9.
So tomorrow we will be given only one assignment.
We have an assignment for chapter 8, part B, and an assignment for chapter 16.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
okay.